It's Week 16 of the National Football League. And at center stage, it's the Raiders' rookie quarterback. He had the green light to sling it last week, over 450 yards passing. It's the Raiders and the Jaguars. All that and more.
Thank you to Trey Mosley for the introduction. The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. They're led out by their quarterback, a second-round pick back in April's draft.
There's been a lot of talk coming into this week, Mike, about whether or not he'd be able to keep this hot streak going. And while I don't know if he'll be able to produce that absurd stat line like he did a week ago, I think he's more than capable of having another strong outing here in this one. I mean, somehow, if he can replicate last week's success, I think it's pretty safe to say he's got a chance to leave here with another win.
And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as, my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
The first run for Alexander Madison. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
And what a start to this drive. A little bit of everything. First, you get the explosive pass to start it out, and then you follow it up on the ground, picking up good yardage. The ability to weave back and forth as a play caller, it just puts so much pressure on the defense.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. In motion is Myers. Throwing now from the gun. He's got it downfield. Myers the connection. And he's in. Jacoby Myers. Touchdown Vegas. His 6th touchdown now for the season. That's the big one. Touchdown pass number 56 on the year. He breaks Peyton. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Taking a shot downfield for Adams.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
Let's add that to the list of great throws we've seen out of this quarterback here in the first half. We thought he might be in line to have a good game, especially against this style of defense. But let's be honest, Mike, he's been more than just good. He's been sensational.
And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
Every staff in the league that understands that we have to play a rookie quarterback, regardless of their talent, regardless of how high they were drafted. The ideal situation is to fill that huddle with as many veteran players as possible. The quarterback's going to be young. He's going to make some mistakes. The more veteran, talented guys around him, the easier it is to weather those mistakes.
Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. On the give, this is Madison. Trying to shove his way forward, but brought down after a gain of a yard. There you get a look at his numbers on the ground a week ago as a part of their victory. Here's 2nd and 9. Now, faking the give. Here's a shot toward the end zone.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner. Next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. That is Josh Hines-Allen from his defensive end spot to record the sack.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when
Raiders offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to right away, they'll set up to throw. Looking middle, and he's got Myers.
Really nice timing on that slant route. You can tell the quarterback and the wide receiver are completely on the same page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
Blitz coming. He'll throw it to the left side, and Adams has it. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. Now think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. He'll complete it to Adams. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
I'd like to see them do a better job here the rest of the game, Mike, just disguising the coverage from the pre-snap look to the post-snap look. And what I mean is, when you have a quarterback at this level, and what they see before the ball's in their hands is the exact same thing they see once they...
And he will score. Devontae Adams. Touchdown, Raiders. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's putting together a remarkable season, currently leading the NFL. Back to throw here to begin the drop. And that ball incomplete over the middle.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
He's got Myers on the completion. And it'll be taken down after a gain of 9 and 3rd down. Coming up.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, He had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
He's had a lot of success throwing the ball early. Look at the numbers. Already up over 200 passing yards. Unbalanced look here to the right side on 1st and 10. Back to the air one more time. Right back to Adams. He's got it again. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a first down.
And another great throw. And I'll tell you what, Mike, so far today, this certainly does not look like a rookie quarterback. I mean, he is in complete control of this offense.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. They'll look to throw yet again. Well, another catch for his favorite target. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open,
to the end zone, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's position. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
The Raiders offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. He spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. They'll start on the ground, and here's Madison. And he'll get maybe a yard. That's it. Josh Hines-Allen there on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. That's to the first tight end taken back in April. It's Brock Bowers.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Now, on 3rd and 2, they'll try and throw for it. He gets this complete, finding Adams. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. And that last throw is going to do it. The passing yardage there, good enough to break Peyton Manning's mark from 2013 of 5,477 passing yards. Congratulations on a huge football milestone. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. On play action, he'll set up to throw. He's going to let one go. Looking for Myers. Darnell Savage. Terrific coverage there. Able to get a hand on it.
I can sit up here all day, Mike, and we could talk about the missed throw, but I think a lot of the credit has to go to the pass defense. Not only did they do a good job making it difficult for them to complete the pass, but I think they saved a touchdown along the way.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on third down.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success. Like the old adage, you run to set up the pass. This modern offense nowadays, we're starting to see that flipped upside down on its head. Typically, the success of the passing game is what allows teams to have success like this in the run game.
Straight ahead, here's Madison. He is in. Alexander Madison. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like.
Now they'll set up to throw. Throw over the middle, brought in by Adams. And he's going to get this up to the 22-yard line. Terrific day throwing the ball, and the numbers now show it over 300 yards passing in this one. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. He'll drop to throw. That's a short one, caught by Bowers. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain. We'll try again. It's second and 10. Back to throw. A toss, left side, caught by his running back. And they're going to mark him down up past the 35.
And another great throw right there, Mike. And when you take a look at the numbers, they certainly don't lie. He has just been flat out terrific in this first half. His ability to spread the ball around, take what the defense has given him. They've certainly had a lot of success here early on.
They'll look to throw. Finding his tight end, Mayer. First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a first down.
Here's Madison. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's second and 5. He'll look to throw. There's that man again. Another catch. Second time they've hooked up on this drive. This one good for 12 and a first down.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the first down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can draw up all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
Second down and 8. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. And good work there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Not sure there's any position on defense that's undergone as much of an evolution as the linebacker position. In the old days, they were the physical tone setters. They were the tacklers. But now, it's their ability to hold up in coverage, like you saw there, that allows you to keep those guys on the field for all 3 downs.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
They nearly connected on the big play downfield, but he's not quite able to hold on to that ball through the contact. You can chalk that one up as a win defensively.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
He's just unable to secure the catch through the contact, and really nice job timing that hit up by the defense. And at this point, all you can do is get up, get back in the huddle, and hope your quarterback gives you another shot.
This one is caught by Gallup. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice 1st down pickup.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. He's going to look deep for Adams. That's caught! And will move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, they'll set up to throw. That is caught. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them down to the 1. And the offense will elect to burn a timeout. 5 seconds remaining in this 2nd quarter. Right away, they'll set up to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got it! And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Throwing now on 1st and 10. That'll be taken in. It's Alexander Madison. And he's not going to be able to get away. Good defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Athletic training staff's going to take a look, but this is a problem late in the season. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short gain.
They need to get this to the 23. Here's 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
The offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And we run you through the highlights here. It has been a very big performance from the quarterback position. Instrumental in leading and executing, and now trying to finish strong and take his team to the finish line. The drive starts with a run by Madison. And he'll get about 5.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
Again, it's Madison. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range, but for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
Well, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
On the ground, it's Madison. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. A throw left side, going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Tyke Smith.
And while he's still a rookie and he's going to have his ups and downs, this is the player they thought they were getting when they selected him in this previous year's draft. I mean, he looked almost like a savvy veteran there, baiting that quarterback into that throw. He had great anticipation. He was on time in his drive, and then he plucks that ball out of the air, and he almost looks like a wide receiver.
On the handoff, it's Madison. He'll work forward to the 40-yard line. That's the former #1 overall pick, Trayvon Walker. there to make the stop. Look him up on a 2nd down and 8. They'll stick with Madison. And he's going to lose yardage here. That's the way they'll switch ends as this 3rd quarter has come to an end. Here's a 3rd and 10. Now he'll air one out. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown.
In motion is Myers. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Toward the middle of the field that time, but incomplete. Michael Gallup was the intended target there, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. A quick slant, and here's Adams. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
And this game almost just flipped completely on his head. You find yourself with a lead, just trying to milk the clock away in the 4th quarter, and
Man in motion is Gallup. A give, and here's Laube. And a good run there to get him 5 yards. The coverage too strong that time. The ball batted away and incomplete.
what did he tell us in our production meeting this week, Mike? He takes such great pride in his coverage abilities, and after that play, it's pretty clear why.
On 3rd down, they'll throw from the gun. To the left side, and Adams has it. A pickup there of 13. Good for a Raider 1st down.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on, Mike. They call it 4-minute offense, and you don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock. But the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the 4th quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that 3rd down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up 1st downs. If they do that, I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Foye Aluakon.
I think you chalk this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
Here comes the Jacksonville offense now, heading back onto the field. They'll run up the middle. It's Madison. And they'll gain about 6 there as it's up past the 35-yard line. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. They'll throw out of the gun. That's out to the flat, and it's complete. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
And that is incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to...
They'll drop to throw. Taking a shot downfield for Adams. That is knocked away. Incomplete. Good coverage there defensively. All over him. And it'll be 2nd down.
In these critical moments of the game, Mike, you always turn to your best players. And that's exactly what they did here. And they just weren't able to connect. Give this defense a lot of credit. They knew when it was crunch time, where did this quarterback want to look? And they were ready, and they took him away.
That ball incomplete. Got the hands in there to break it up. Could have been a big gainer. Instead, it sets up a 3rd down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Again, working deep downfield. That one is batted away. Incomplete. No separation that time. Tightly defended. It brings up 4th down.
They desperately needed that one, Mike. Down here late, they've only got a few remaining snaps to go, and it puts all of the pressure of the game now on 4th down. Let's see what play call they have in a gotta-have-it situation. And right now, this quarterback needs to make his best throw in the biggest moment of the game.
So it is a win for our visitors, the Jaguars. This one went down to the wire. They're able to persevere.
my dude, you told us what was about to happen before the season started. Congratulations. Single season passing yard record? Man, that's big time. Keep it going. You doing big things.
Ready? Set, go! On the ready! Set up! Come on, set! Ready? Okay, ready? Ready? Set up! Go! Down! Hot, hot! Here we go, set! Ready, ready? Here we go, here we go! Hut! Set! Ready! Set, go! Ready, ready! Set up! Ready, ready! Ready! Let's go! Ready? Let's go now! Go! It's Week 17 of the NFL. And at center stage, it's the Raiders' rookie quarterback. He's your top dog in the league this season, ranking first in passing yards. It's the Raiders and the Saints, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is... So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a second-round pick back in April's draft.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
He's really been somewhat special to watch this season and brings a real unique element to their offense. Even with defenses focusing on him all year, he still sits 4th in the league in yardage. Hard to come up with an answer for a back playing as well as he has been. They've got their work cut out for them in this one as he chases another big week.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. You look at the Saints' defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Myers. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. The Raiders at 7-8 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
They'll go Madison up the middle. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Well, that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bring...
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Very quick throw. He's got Myers. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's Myers again with another catch. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. 20. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints 13. A gain there of 30 big ones. Well, for a play that didn't look like much at the snap, that jet sweep turned into a big play in a hurry.
And how about how they ran the play? Because they obviously caught the defense out of position and not expecting that one, and that turned into a nice chunk of yardage. But how about the execution? On the handoff, most of the times we see on the jet sweep, they punch it forward so that if it falls to the ground, it's just an incomplete pass. Here, you got to execute it well, otherwise it's a fumble.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Adams. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely.
The Raiders offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he is the NFL leader in passing yards here in the penultimate week of the season. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Slant to Adams. We'll call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Out of the gun now on third down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
Now back to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on first and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on fourth down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get.
The Raiders offense ready to go.
And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get it.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And you look at the Saints defense, and they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his 2nd, but instead it's 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion.
Offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his impressive season total as you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. He'll look to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. They'll start on the ground with Madison. There's the stiff arm. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. He's got it to the 43 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Another carry now for Madison. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just float from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. But now he appears to be in some pain. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll set up a throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. First carry of the game for Zamir White. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Zamir White, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the turnover sets it up, and then a touchdown run here on the ensuing play.
And, Brandon, a lot of times you see teams take shots in the passing game on a quick change like this. They go right back and throw one for the end zone. Here they just called a running play looking to get a few.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we
they'll try and start this drive in the air. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Boy, a big play. Touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described, a defensive. What was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
He's had a great season, plenty of touchdown passes, but that last throw, not one of his finer moments, as it was returned for a touchdown on the pick six. Now he starts again here, 1st and 10. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. Joe Burrow has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey to check on the Giants. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Anthony Richardson with a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home in Acrisure Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going so well. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Here's Madison getting it again on second. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because you see a guy cutting in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Here comes third and the length of the football. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. They'll look to throw now on first down. That one into the hands of Adams downfield. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a two-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. On the handoff, it's Madison. And just shutting him off there. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line.
Defense.
So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And the Raiders are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Looking to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Harrison Bryant, his fourth touchdown on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes...
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Second and 11. It's caught here by Adams. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having.
The Raiders now set to get the football back. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 90 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The slant connects with Devontae Adams.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll look to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. Now a give to Madison. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
Back to throw here. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jacoby Myers, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter and the cute.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Now 2nd and 3. Going to run with Madison again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show off their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
116 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Here's 2nd and 3. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Open man is Myers. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Raiders first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll run with Madison. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 31 yards there and a first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and touchdown. Michael Mayer from 3 yards out. And the Raiders are able to add on to that lead. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And this game, it could very well turn out to be the shocker of the week.
Let's go now.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 8. Going on the ground with Madison. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Tackle made by Chase Young.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll run it with Madison. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
This now a 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. That is caught, and he is going to have the Raiders first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ball game.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very